And this is what stuck out about your program to me when we talked the first time too, the early neurological stimulation. I don't
Oh
see
yeah.
enough people in this bully community or in the dog community in general that take that serious enough, all the benefits that come with it. And I'd
Oh
like to
yeah.
hear if you have any experience with that and why you started doing it and what you've seen,
Yeah.
because we use it all the same. I've seen your videos and we've been making videos about this for about 2 years as well.
Yeah, brother. Awesome question. So my grandfather really didn't know the name per se and kind of did his own version. And I used to always ask him why. And I thought it was just like some quirky, redneck voodoo. But I mean, he would always freeze a wet towel and put that in the freezer. And from 3 days to 16 days old, sometimes from 3 to 18, he stimulates them in 4 to 5 different ways. From rubbing Q-tips frozen Q-tip in between each paw for 10 seconds, holding the puppy by the scruff of their neck by 10 seconds, holding them upside down, putting them on a wet carpet and then a frozen towel for 10 seconds, and then just getting them used to that. So I used to think these things were kind of quirky. As I said, I mentioned them to my grandma on the other side of the country who bred Skipper Keats and Pomeranians, AKC, top level multiple grand champions, and she was super into it as well. Well, those dogs can be skittish. So when I let her know some of those things, she had looked up to it, and that was when I kind of found out the scientific name, the biosensory program, the super dog program. And at that time I was getting a little bit older, and I started kind of seeing, the results. So when I had my first litter, I did half, and the other half I didn't. I wanted to see the results. So I had 12 puppies. 6 of them I did it. 6 of them I did not. From day 3 to 16 for my first litter, half I did and half I didn't. We documented everything. They all had color collars. And like I said, the things that I just went over are the things that I did from day 3 to day 16. Those different steps by stimulating them on the cold, wet, frozen towel to the
Yeah.
hanging them upside down. And people think it's all fun and games, but those puppies that did not do those things, those puppies that did not, get stimulated, when those puppies were put in front of stairs, they would whine, they would not go upstairs. Whereas the puppies that were tested would go up the stairs immediately without question. Their
Yep.
first time on AstroTurf, or, swimming in the pool, or being in the bathtub, or even being just picked up and put upside down is just night and day. The puppies that have not had that stimulation, if you pick them up and put them on their back, they thrash and they don't know what's going on. They're just completely uncomfortable. Whereas a dog that you did that young, you could pick up that 140-pound male at a year old and haven't picked him up in a year, and he's going to
Yep.
be calm and trustworthy. It just established, just like how a human, from 18 months old to 3 years old is a sponge and just soaking up everything, and how children can establish all those languages and
Yep.
so many colors and sounds and different things. And dogs, because they develop so much quicker, as you know, Joe, that is their, time where they're the most developmental with their brain and their stimulation. And it's key to do that. And I've seen mass results and I swear by it. A lot of people think it's funny, but we do those extra steps. We do tons of videos.
Yeah.
Our last
People
litter.
may people may think it's funny, but if you guys really sit there and think about it, what you're doing is everything that the dog is going to do on a nerve level. Genetically, you can only bring it so far. The dog has to go through certain experiences in its life to figure out whether it's going to be comfortable or if it's going to be afraid. And
Absolutely.
if you keep your dog in a box for 8 weeks and it experiences nothing in that window, you're never stimulating the nerve. You're never giving the dog direction or confidence to let it know that there's nothing to worry about. It thinks that its entire world is as big as this box. And at 8 weeks old, you guys are handing these dogs out, and now they're being exposed to a whole new planet in their mind, full
Yeah.
of things they've never seen or heard or smelled before, and they've never come under any actual stress in that 8 weeks, so they don't know how they're going to react. You're putting them on a cold surface before their eyes and ears are even open, and you're giving them just a short amount of space that they need to walk to resolve that issue. You're building confidence that they can get themselves out of anything that comes their way from such a young age that by 6 to 8 weeks, these dogs are going out into public with their head high, their chest out, and they're just confident because you've set them up for success from the second they got here.
100%. And when you're playing God like that and you're selecting genetics, especially when you have a breed, whether it's a pocket and it's a 60-pound little female that's shredded, or it's, a 160-pound top level XL stud, when you have a dog that powerful with the bloodlines behind it everyone knows the bloodlines that were behind the American Bully. They have very minimal pit bull at this point, heavy American Bulldog, heavy Mastiff. What people don't seem to comprehend is why so many different looks and so many lines look different is because the brood books are still open. All these kennels in the beginning were doing this and doing that and adding this and trying to beat that person, and everyone was competing. So when the American Bully actually became the American Bully and it was no longer being paper hung as the American Pit Bull Terrier, everyone kind of had their look. This guy used American Bulldog in this. This guy
that was the problem.
English. This guy used this and Dogo. So everyone's dogs kind of had their own traits, and they've been establishing themselves from the early 90s. I picked from those looks and those traits that I liked. I contacted those gentlemen and found out, what was truly behind those dogs. So many people always want to rely on the paperwork, and a lot of those dogs on that paperwork are not correct. So, I wanted to find out what was behind those specific lines. I did digging before I did a lot of digging before I, forked up some serious cash. And the biggest thing that I would recommend, I get so many emails, people, wanting to breed or how should they start. My recommendation.
All right, guys. So this was just one of a few parts that we're going to be dropping in the podcast episode number 3 with Jrock from over at Consistent Kennels. He did an amazing interview. He had a lot of knowledge to share. I hope you guys appreciate it. We loved having him on. And what we did here was we dropped a few of the most important topics we feel covered in the video. For those of you who are unable to always just have the time to sit down and watch the interviews in their entirety, we're going to drop 2, 3, or 4 of the most important topics we feel we covered. And then we're going to drop the entire video at the end. Let us know what you guys think about doing it like this. Let us know in the topics that we do drop if you feel like we didn't go in depth enough, if we went, if it went smooth and perfect, if you guys loved it, let us know in the comment section. And if you did like the video and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you are always updated when we upload. We try to upload a few times a week. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. Let us know what else you'd like to cover. If we aren't hitting everything you guys are interested in, we'll be happy to make sure we get those questions on future interviews. We may be able to have Jrock on again in the future as well. I know I'd love to have him on. This was a great discussion the entire way through. So as always, guys, like I said, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks.